So, Kathy, how do you feel about your relationship with Nelly?
Oh, I'm very fond of Nelly. I trust her with all of my heart. I tell her everything that goes on in my life, even when I know it might make her a little upset, because I couldn't stand keeping anything from her. I see her as more of my mother than anyone.
Now, technically she's your servant. Well, how do you feel the authority differs between you two?
Well, I know that she's very wise, and I know she knows best for me, because she's been around for so long in our family. And I know that Father would like her to look out for me, and her best interest is for me to be happy and to be safe. And she practically raised me, so it would be rather strange for me to give authority over her, as she's more of my mother.
Do you think that sometimes she's too overprotective of you?
I do believe sometimes it's a little much. Like, one time she forbade me from seeing my cousin Linton. As I was deeply in love with him, I was very upset at the time. Even though she forbade me to see or talk to him, I would secretly write him letters, until one day she found my box that I kept of his letters, and threatened to either tell the Father or burn them. And of course I love Father so much, so I told her she can burn them, but as soon as she started, I went into a frenzy. I begged her, one or two, please, for Linton's sake, and she refused. She believed that if one of them stayed, then it would go straight to Father, and I didn't want him to be fretting about it. And even so, afterwards, I snuck out to see Linton a few times on horseback as Nelly was sick. I do feel guilty about it now, because Nelly had no idea, but I'm glad at least she wasn't worrying.
Now, you seem to keep a lot of secrets from your father. Do you think Nelly cares just as much for your father as she does for you?
I do believe that she cares very much for my father, and I believe she keeps these secrets from him as well as I do, because he would worry, because he's not very fond of the people at the Heights, and neither is Nelly.
Do you think that your father keeps Nelly to watch over you, and just to watch over you, or also as a housekeeper?
I believe Nelly stays around more to take care of me when he's ill. I believe that she's there more for me than anyone else in the house, seeing as we have more than one servant. Nelly is more mine.
Now, you said that your father doesn't really care for the people at the Heights. Do you think Nelly feels the same way toward them?
I believe that Nelly very much resents the people at the Heights. She doesn't enjoy me going over there. She thinks it's a big waste of time, and she thinks it's a trap in my Uncle Heathcliff's scheme. I believe she very much resents Heathcliff. She's called my cousin Linton the worst-tempered bit of sickly slip that ever struggled into its teens. I don't really believe her at times, but sometimes I get my suspicions, but I always have to remind myself that she knows best.
Now, if Nelly had her way, do you think she'd keep you in the house for the rest of your life?
No, I don't believe she would keep me. I believe she would let me go out to the village with her, out to Gimmerton. But if I went to try to go astray to the Wuthering Heights with Heathcliff still there, I don't believe that she would let me. I feel she is too concerned for my safety and for my well-being, that she would not want me to fret about things that are at the Heights.
Now, do you feel like, now Now, you said that Nelly had imposed a punishment on you for leaving to see Linton. Do you think that if your father knew about it, that he would have been more lenient?
I do believe that my father would not have been as harsh as Nelly had, because I am all my father has, even though I am all that Nelly has as well. I do believe it's what was best, and I do believe that Nelly cares so much for me, and I love her dearly, and I don't like to upset her. So even though it was a harsh punishment and I wasn't very happy about it, it all turned out very fine.